I'm actually just taking a break, climbing up this massive mountain. This is like, I thought the only thing I could do was to actually do an action climbing a mountain thing to get the real feel for the fact that I'm not actually in London right now, but instead in like, well, what could be described as the middle of nowhere. Unless, of course, there is something very notable on top of this hill. There you go, dry stone walls and mountain crevasse and just exotic, dangerous plant life, you know? Oh. So, I'm supposed to be relaxing, really. That's why I came to the countryside. What I should be doing, I thought, shall I do the video just sat in the back garden, like drinking beer out of a can, having a barbecue? And I thought, no, I must climb a hill. But yeah, God, what a horrible video to have to make. I've experienced this one actually like completely differently. More like your average YouTube guy who doesn't live anywhere near London and just sees it all on the news and has to analyse it by looking at the pictures and everything. I have the slight advantage in that, like, my very first flat in London in like 10 years ago was exactly where that happened. It's like where they filmed a bit of Bridget Jones's Diary, whatever, Borough Market and all that. So I know that area really, really well. And certainly from this far distance in the middle of nowhere, it certainly doesn't seem like crisis actors or anything. It seems like an encamped jihadi group, self-radicalized, I don't know, you know. The more and more the years go on, the more and more we learn about the IRA and how actually a lot of the hardcore people who are actually bombing things were actually being trained how to make those bombs by the British security services. But that sort of thing, of course, doesn't come out for decades afterwards, so don't expect to get any real enlightenment about what really happened on London Bridge and Borough Market for 20 years yet. However, you can look at it in certain ways that reveal how strategically important it is for, you know, the powers that be, no matter whether it's the Conservatives or Labour, in terms of like the security complex and how their business model is going and how people are going to have to be buying their products, as in more tasers, more pistols, more stab vests, more crash helmets, more everything, more technology, high technology, especially to do with surveillance and identifying who these people are. The funding is going in that direction. There are people on the television pleading that we need more police with guns, more police, more security. People are almost going to be saying, Theresa May, why did you take the army off the streets? It was too early. We need more army on the streets. We need to be protected. Please, mother, please protect us. Which is worrying, seeing all of that. Yeah, when the Westminster attack happened, what that did is force the Metropolitan Police to address whether or not they need to be investing more in the products from private security manufacturers. And the answer was yes, we need more of it. We need more public funding to pay for more guns and weapons and toys and things that actually would never stop any terrorist attack ever. There'd be 1,000 military style police, oh god, on London Bridge at the time when the van went up on the pavement. None of them could have stopped that from happening. So what the hell is the point of arming the police? That doesn't stop what's happening. But the importance is that in the public mind, then yes, arming the police more will help. Now, the London Bridge attack, you've got to remember that that's the ancient boundary of London and Southwark. That is City of London territory. City of London police have now had the wake-up call of that they all need to be armed, even the normal officers on the beat, and they need to have special military units and special tactical squadrons and all of this kind of stuff. That this was the expedient use of a terrorist attack, most probably to encourage and bring City of London police into the equation. City of London, of course, a different financial entity and a very successfully financial entity. They got a lot of money to spend on private security, and actually some of the largest private security companies in the world are resident in the square mile of the City of London. course, you've also, just for the methodical, logical train of thought, ask yourself, what would have been in the news today had it not been all about terrorism and stuff? And the answer is the news that they're not going to be publishing the investigation into who is arming and funding and training the terrorists, because apparently the information that it reveals is too sensitive for public consumption. So on the very day that the threat, so-called threat, exhibits itself, was the denial of us learning ever where the training and the funding is coming from. But then we don't need that investigation to know, because we know very well who is funding and training and fomenting this now internal military conflict. And I think personally now that just both the Labour Party and the Conservatives both benefit. So it's got nothing to do with them specifically, it's to do with the private business world. That is how I see it. Now back to the barbecue.